Oh, what's up, dudes? It's Toonie, and welcome to the 2021 We Tanks Ultimate Olympics Tournament Showdown, hosted by Mr. Dogo, where 32 teams of 8 tanks will be going head-to-head in a double elimination bracket. Here are the 32 teams that will be entering the Olympics with all the fight in them for gold. Each team is seeded based on their total points, which are added up based on each tank in the team. Browns are worth 1 point, grays 2, yellows 3, teals 4, reds 5, purples 6, greens, russets, orange, and whites are all worth 7 points, electros and explosives worth 9, silvers, rocket defenders, and blacks 10, cherries 12, and peach tanks worth 16 points. Based on those points, our competitors have been seeded. There will be 5 rounds, however, since this is a double elimination tournament, losers of the main bracket still get to compete in the lower bracket in the following rounds for the chance to re-enter the main bracket in the finals to win it all. But if a team loses a match in the lower bracket, they are completely eliminated from the We Tanks Olympic tournament. All teams are lined up based on their seeding, with the top seed initially fighting the bottom seed. So, without further ado, let the battles begin in round 1. Alright, now looking here at the tournament bracket, we're going to be having all the top seeds going against the bottom seeds, and the top seeds are not going to be actually going head to head against each other until a little bit later on in the tournament if they are to make it that far. So they're not going to be knocking each other out in round 1 or 2. Instead, we're going to be seeing those more heated matchup as we go through this entire tournament. Another thing to note is that in each matchup, all the higher seed teams are going to be on the left-hand side, and they're going to have a little red stripe. They're going to be on the red team, and all the lower seeds of the match are going to be on the right-hand side with the blue stripe on their tank, and that's going to be how you tell which team, or rather which tank is on which team. Without further ado, let's get into our first matchup, which is going to be Team Oreo, our seed 1, going up against Peanut Butter Blossom, the last seed, seed 32. Again, Team Oreo on the left, Peanut Butter Blossom on the right hand side with the sniper tank that actually gets a shot right on the cherry, and a bunch of cars go down here in the center of the map, a bunch of tanks going down, including that electro, and the brown tank on the right is going to go down as well. The 2 shotgunners and a black are all going to go against this last red tank here. As you'd expect, a big showdown from Team Oreo, and that's going to be the end of that matchup there. Team Oreo, the big favorites of that one, obviously the top seed going against the bottom seed. They do make it through as you would expect in dominating fashion. And that means we're going to be moving on to the second match, where we have Team Meringue, which is seed 16, going up against Team Gingerbread, team 17. Let's see what kind of battle they can have. These 2 seeds are right up against each other, 16 and 17. Got 2 russets on the right hand side, got 2 snipers on the left hand side. One of the snipers and russets go down. The other sniper is still alive though. He had that peach shield to shield him from that one incoming bullet. The TNT is getting exploded on the top and bottom side of the map. The silver is going hard. She gets a shot down there on the right hand side on that red tank, and the other silver on the blue team gets a shot off on the teal tank and gets a nice snipe there with the ricochet onto that brown, and it's just going to be a purple that's left against a silver and a electro tank. He's trying to fight around here, but he's just getting swarmed a little bit too much. He's going to try to take some cover behind the blocks there, but is that going to be enough? He's going up against a lot of firepower. He does get stunned by the electro, and that's going to mean the silver has a clean shot. He gets the final kill there. And that is going to mean that Team Gingerbread is going to be moving on to the second round, while Team Meringue is going to be dropping to the lower bracket. Now, without further ado, we're going to be going on to our third match of round 1, which is going to be Seed 8, Team Spritz, going up against Seed 25, Team Sugar. On the right of the battlefield here, they have 2 red tanks, an invisible tank on each side, and a silver tank on each side, among others. The electros go out on the top side of the map. You got 2 reds on the right. One of the reds go down, but the other red here looks like he's gonna, yeah, there you go. He gets a shot down there on the shotgunner, and the silver does some cleanup duty on the left-hand side of the map there, and that is going to be a victory for Team Sugar. That is actually an upset. They beat Seed 8 as Seed 25, so Sugar moving up there with a big upset. Definitely got to watch out for them in the next round. And that means we're going to be moving on to our fourth match of round 1, which is going to be Seed 9, Team Biscotti, going up against Seed 24, Team Chocolate Chip. Let's see. Well, Team Chocolate Chip on the right has 2 Greys and a Bomber Tank. They're all moving in. One of the Greys does get taken down, but the Bomber Tank managed to take down a Teal with a big point-blank range, but the Rocket Artilleries from the left-hand side get a shot, and I believe, yeah, one of the other Rocket Artilleries get the final kill on that Bomber Tank, and that's going to be cleanup duty for Team Red here on the left. Russet is hanging around. The shotgunner goes down on the right-hand side, but I believe there's also an invisible tank hanging around somewhere. Another shotgunner goes down on the left, and a rocket artillery. Hold up, this might not be over. Oh my goodness, the shotgunner goes down as well. And there is indeed an invisible tank on the right team, on the blue team, and holy smokerino, dude. The Team Chocolate Chip managed to come up with an amazing upset against Team Biscotti there. Absolutely just chomping them out with a big comeback there. I believe it was 2 versus 5 at one point, and they managed to pull it back. Wow, that was an incredible comeback there, but, well, we're going to have to watch out for them in round 2, rather. But our next teams fighting up against each other are going to be Seed 4, Team Drop. That's the team that I'm cheering for, going up against Seed 29, Team Fortune. So let's see if my favorite team here on the left with the Peach Tank can pull through, or if they're going to get stopped early with an upset victory. But it seems that they're absolutely just crunching the opponents here. Got one more silver that's trying to hold on, but that's going to be about it. Barely even dropping a single tank. Okay, but the silver tank does go down to, I believe, or rather that silver tank takes the purple down, but does go down by a different tank on that Team Drop there, and that's going to be a dominating victory. Hardly any tanks dropped on Team Drop, no pun intended, but an ultimately dominating performance, which means they're going to be heading on to round 2, while we're going to have our next team, which is Thumbprint, Seed 13, going up against Molasses, which is Seed 20. Alright, there's the invisible tank on the left-hand side. We've got a bomber tank and a rocket artillery on the right-hand side as well, and another rocket artillery on the right as well, but he gets taken down there at the bottom. Meanwhile, the Cherry's just going hard in the center of the battlefield, taking out the other enemy rocket artillery, and that's going to be a very quick battle, and that's going to be Team Thumbprint taking the victory over Molasses. The Molasses team will be going to the lower bracket. And that means our 7th match of round 1, which is going to be the Seed 5 Team Kiss going up against Seed 28 Wafer. Alright, let's see what kind of damage both these teams can do. We got a bunch of silvers across the board here, 2 on the left, 1 on the right, and a peach on the left. I believe all those silvers die except 1 on the left, and wow, the Cherry as well, making short work of the rest of the enemy tanks on the right team. And that is going to be a big win for Team Kiss. Seed 5 showing their dominance, showing why they are Seed 5, and making a clear victory there, moving on to the 2nd round. And that's going to mean our 8th match of the game, which is going to be Seed 12 Linzer going up against Seed 21 M&M. Let's see, so Team M&M on the right-hand side has an invisible tank, silver tank, and bomber tank. Those are some of the most critical members there. They actually have 2 bomber tanks. That's going to be a lot of armor to dig through. The Electro, wow, I managed to get a bunch of shots there on the bottom bomber tank, cleaning that one up. You do have a silver on the right-hand side, but 3 Electros on the left, really causing some havoc. And the last bomber tank does go down. The Electro there in the center just barely dodges some bullets, making some big plays happen, and it looks like that silver tank is stun locked. He's not going to be able to move, and it's a 2 versus 1. And yeah, the Electro there is going to be able to finish off that silver tank, and is going to be able to take the win for Team Linzer, knocking out Team M&M to the lower bracket. And now we're going to be having our 2nd seed, Team Shortbread, going up against Seed 31 Macaron. Alright, we're in the latter half of the battles in round 1. Bomber tank and rocket artillery on the left-hand side really moving in. The bomber tank does take a hit, but wow, they're just moving through. The black tank on the top right is trying to get some shots off there. He gets a few tanks down, but he's going to fall as well. And I believe it's just an invisible tank hanging about somewhere. Yep, about in the middle on the right-hand side. The invisible tank is just sneaking around, but you do have a bomber and a shotgunner to worry about. And I don't know if that invisible tank is going to be able to get those shots needed, because that bomber tank still has another armor plating before he falls. Oh, now there's also another invisible tank on the other side of the team, and that is going to be a victory for Team Shortbread. They were the second seed, and they show it, and they absolutely take the win in style and move on to round 2. While we're going to have the 10th battle of round 1, which is going to be Seed 15, Team Chocolate, going up against Seed 18, Team Double Chocolate. So it's a very chocolatey round, both sides. Let's see if the chocolate or double chocolate is going to be superior here in this matchup. A bunch of explosions going all over the place. The silver's in the center of the matchup, just absolutely shooting down. Gets another shot there on the bomber tank and making him go down. Got a bomber tank on the bottom right as well, Team Double Chocolate. 2 bomber tanks actually hanging around, and that's going to be very powerful, all going up against one measly red tank, which does get that big bomb bullet right to the face, and that's going to mean that Double Chocolate reigns supreme over Team Regular Chocolate, and Double Chocolate is moving on to round 2. Now for our 11th match of round 1, we're going to have Sugar-Free Chocolate Chip Seed 7 going up against Seed 26 Macaroon. Alright, let's see what kind of carnage can ensue in this match. Oh, 2 rocket artilleries on the left. One of them goes down. The second one goes down as well. We got 2 peach tanks on the right. Actually, I believe the names here on the battle actually were switched up a little bit. That might have been a bit of a error. I'm not entirely sure or not, but with 2 peach tanks, I wouldn't imagine that they would be the lower seed. I think Macaroon is the one on the left, and I think Sugar-Free Chocolate Chip is the team on the right. I do believe, but we'll have to see and correct that if that is not the case. But it is going to be the blue team here taking them out with that Electro, and brown tank is left. And now there's only a brown tank on the other side of the board here. Can this brown tank, or rather bomber tank, pull it through? Got a bunch of shots going through from the Electro tank, and then one of them is going to connect onto that bomber. And that means I do believe that Team Sugar-Free Chocolate Chip is going to be the victor. Now, I'm not entirely sure on that. We're going to have to double check, but I believe that with 2 peach tanks, you would not be seeded as number 26, because peach tanks are worth 16 points each. So I believe that was just a quick error in the actual setup of the match. However, we're going to be moving on to the 12th match, where we have Oatmeal Raisin Seed 10 going up against Macadamia Nut 23. All right. 3 red tanks on the right hand side, 1 on the left. Got some black tanks as well on either side of the board. They're all going in there. The shotgunner's getting some real carnage going there, and the top right shotgunner's trying to be sneaky with it. One of the red tanks on the right goes down, but there's still 2 alive on the right hand side and 1 in the center on the other team, but it does get sniped by the black tank flanking him on the bottom. And now we got the red stunned by the Electro. It's the Electro against, wow, 5 or 6 tanks, or 5 tanks here. One of the tanks go down though. The Electro is trying to pull off something crazy. Teleports to the top right of the map. Gets a shot off on the right hand side, or rather on that red tank, but eventually does go down. But a very strong performance there at the end by the Electro, trying to save his team, but it's just not going to be quite enough. And that means that we're going to have Team Macadamia Nut take the victory here over Team Oatmeal Raisin, and that means that our 13th match of round 1 is going to be Seed 3, Team Crinkle, going up against Pinwheel, Seed 30. Alright, on the right hand side we have 2 yellows, 2 purples, 2 shotgunners, but there's a peach tank on the left, but does get shot by that teal tank. That's going to be huge. A bunch of carnage in the center of the map, a bunch of tanks that were charging through the center to get cleaned up, and now it is just a 1 versus 2. Now it's a 1 versus 1. We've got a purple versus the shotgunner tank. So this one's going down right to the wire. Let's see which team can pull through here. They're both playing quite defensive, both these tanks, but the shotgunner is starting to move in here, trying to get his big firepower out in the open. That's his advantage. Is the purple tank going to be able to defend? No, and it's going to be the shotgunner that takes the final shot there. And that's going to be Team Crinkle winning. as Seed 3 going up against Seed 30, but just barely. I mean, that was down to a 1v1. That could have swung either way. So definitely not the performance we want to see from the 3rd seed going against the 30th seed. But either way, Crinkle is going to be moving on to the 2nd round. We'll see what they can do in future battles. And that means that we're going to be going to the 14th match, the 3rd last of round 1, which is going to be Seed 14, Team Peanut Butter, going up against Black and Green, Seed 19. Alright, let's see the stuff and things commence here. We got a bunch of bullets coming from that cherry, just charging right through the center of the battlefield. Does get stopped eventually by that sniper tank, who also snipes down the brown tank. And it just seems to be one gray tank against the sniper, the purple, and the bomber tank. This is not a battle that you're gonna win. It's gonna be a victory for Team Black and Green, Seed 19. And that means we're going to be going to our 2nd last match, which is going to be Seed 6 Icebox versus Leverkusen, Seed 27. On the right hand side, we have 2 rocket artilleries. On the left, we got 2 cherries. Let's see which is going to overpower the other. 2 blacks also charging through on the left hand side. Wow, one of them goes really deep and gets a bunch of damage down, but does go and fall. But we have the cherry just really pelting the right hand side of the map there with bullets. And that means that it's going to be, it looks like a 2 versus 1. A very colossal battle, goes down pretty quick, but at the end of the day, it is going to be Team Icebox reigning supreme as Team 6, showing why they are one of the top seeds here in this whole tournament. And now we're going to be moving on to the last battle in the tournament of round 1, where we're going to have Seed 11 Butter going up against Seed 22 Snowball. Alright, on the left we have 2 russets and a peach. Those are going to be very critical. On the right we've got some rocket defenders, we've got a bomber, we've got a bunch of action going down here. The electros are getting shielded up. Everyone is staying very grouped together around that peach tank on the left hand side, which is very smart team play. That bomber tank is going to be able to not actually take down that gray tank twice because of those shields from the peach tank surviving, and that was a very tactical play there. They hardly even lost any tanks there because they were all staying around that peach tank and centering their whole combination around that, staying all shielded up, and that means that they're going to be able to take a very convincing victory. And that means that Team Butter is going to be into round 2, while Team Snowball is going to be dropping to the lower bracket. That was the last match of round 1. Let's take a look at our next bracket and see what we have in store. Alright, now we're going to be heading into the lower bracket, round 1. So all the teams that have lost in the top bracket round 1 are brought to the lower bracket round 1, and they're going to be fighting head to head, and any team that loses now in the lower bracket are going to be completely eliminated. However, if you win, you'll be able to keep going throughout the lower bracket to ultimately try to get back into the top bracket finals. Alright, but without further ado, it's time to get into our first match of the lower bracket round 1, which is going to be Seed 32 Peanut Butter Blossom going up against Team 15 Meringue. Alright, so we have Meringue on the right, and we have Peanut Butter Blossom on the left hand side. We've got some sniper tanks going really hard on the right, bottom right hand side of the map. The teal does go down there on the bottom right, but the sniper tank falls on the left. And wow, the red tank, the russet tank, and invisible tank all get sniped down from the sniper tanks from the bottom right. And the sniper tanks manage to get the shot onto the gray as well and clean house there along with their teammates. So some big coordination plays from there. And that is going to be Team Meringue pushing through to losers bracket or lowers bracket round 2, while Peanut Butter Blossom is completely annihilated from this entire tournament. And that brings us to the next match here, where we're going to have Seed 3 Team Spritz going up against Seed 9 Team Biscotti. Let's see which team here. They're both relatively high seeds, so they definitely don't want to drop out so early into the tournament, but one of them is going to have to. A sketchy gray shot off on the top right hand corner there, almost hitting his teammate. But it doesn't really matter because there is no friendly fire, as you can see there with that rocket defender getting hit twice by his own teammate's bullet. But the electro tank from the left hand side teleports in to the bottom right, gets a bunch of shots down and a few kills, and then teleports away. So definitely a smart play from that electro, playing it smart. And he's teleporting away from those rocket artillery, and he's going to be able to take down that rocket defender. What a big play. He is eventually going to go down, but that electro played a massive execution there. Big ups to him. And now we just got a silver and a shotgunner hanging out in the center of the map, and oh my goodness, and there's going to be a kill on the bottom right hand side of the map and in the center there, and that's going to be a victory for Team Spritz Seed 3. They're going to be pushing into the lower bracket round 2, and now we'll have our next match of Seed 29 Team Fortune going up against Seed 20 Molasses. Molasses on the right, Fortune on the left. Let's see what goes down here. We got the bomber tank as well. Just chilling now. Let's see if he can break open the map at all. But we have some rocket defenders, and one of the rocket defenders in the center is going to go down. There's 2 rocket defenders on the bottom right going hard there. Really trying to put in some work into the back lines, and it looks, oh, the rocket artillery are going to be able to take out a bunch of different tanks. There's the sniper tank and another tank as well. And now we have the shotgunner taking out the yellow tank in the top part of the map. And now they're moving in for the one lonely shotgunner, which is going to get sniped down in the end. And that is going to bring Molasses up to round 2 of the lower bracket and bring us into the 4th match of the lowest bracket, round 1, which is going to be Seed 23 Wafer going up against Seed 21 M&M. So let's see which of these teams are going to be able to knock the other straight into the void, and which one is going to persevere in the sudden death stage. The sudden knockout, you can't lose from here. You're out. But that bomber tank is going right through the center of the map trying to get some explosive bullets. He's going to be able to take down one of the tanks. The silver is going hard there. He does make it out alive, which is pretty interesting. The sniper tank is trying to get some shot through to the russet there on the other side of the map. He's not going to be able to get one through because the bullet gets destroyed by the rocket artillery's shot there. But there are only... oh, the silver is dead. And the bomber is dead, so it's literally only one bomber on the right-hand side that is still alive, and you have 3 tanks that are all pretty powerful on the left-hand side doing some work there. The artillery is not going to hit that bomber tank, but it's going to be pretty close. And see here if the steel can come in for the kill. The shot there is going to be blocked there by the bomber, but he's going to get double killed there. He's going to get double sniped, and that is going to bring us on to the next match here, I should mention that M&M is the team going down out of the tournament, and Team Wafer is going to be moving forth henceforth. And now to our next match here, we're going to have Seed 31 Team Macaron going up against Seed 15 Team Chocolate on the right hand side. Macaron is on the left. So let's see, Macaron has 2 brown tanks, not too strong. The team is not looking too good here. They're popping off a little bit, but not quite enough. There's going to be a lot of deaths going on the left side of the map, but the right side is not looking too much better as the Electro starts to sneak around here, gets the shot off onto the purple tank, but does go down. And it's going to be the russet on the top right, it's going to be the brown going down on the left, and there is an invisible tank on the top left as well, so you can't forget about him. But it's going to be a 3 versus 2 here, and that bomber tank has full armor plating, so he's going to be a tough boy to take down. And that russet is also just playing a little bit of distraction, so it's going to be pretty tough for them. And I believe the invisible tank does go down, and so does the yellow, and that is going to be some cleanup duty done there for Team Chocolate, Seed 15, moving forth henceforth into the 2nd round of the lower bracket. And that means that we're going to have Team Macaroon sitting in at Seed 26 going up against Macadamia Nut, Seed 23. So let's see which of these teams, starting with M, can actually power through the other and push them out of the tournament. We got 2 rocket defenders on the left and a bomber on the top left as well. So some big stuff, but we have a peach tank on the right that's really... Oh, and all the tanks on the right are playing it pretty smart, where they're all sticking around by the peach, getting their shields. But the peach tank is approaching into the center of the battlefield. What is he doing? This is not smart team play, and he's going to go down along with a bunch of his teammates from that Electro that is teleported in and is wreaking absolute havoc as an assassin into the back lines of the team on the right there. The team blue is absolutely getting stomped there. That Electro tank does so much damage, but a bunch of the tanks on the left-hand side are also getting destroyed, and now it is just a bomber tank and a bomber tank and an artillery, which does manage to kill that last brown tank on the right hand side, which gives Team Macaroon the victory. And they're going to be going up into the lower bracket round 2, while Pinwheel, Seed 30, is going to be going up against Seed 14 Peanut Butter in our 2nd last match of the lower bracket round 1. Alright, we've got a good variety of tanks on both sides of the field, but we've got 2 cherries going really hard into the center, where that one Electro is somehow surviving it out. somehow surviving through all of the Cherry's bullets, and the Cherry's going to go down. What a survival by that Electro in the center. That was incredible. And he gets a stun onto some of the... Oh, he was trying to get a stun onto some of the tanks down there, but doesn't manage to do so and teleports away. But the Cherry on the right-hand side does go down along with another tank. And now it's just a shotgunner trying to roll up here on the block. He does get a kill, but he does go down. And now that's just a brown tank, and he's going to go down. Oh, maybe there's another tank. I think there's an invisible tank, and he does go down as well. So that is going to be that matchup finished, and that is Pinwheel popping off with an incredible performance with that Electro especially. Just really going hard there and popping off, making it all the way to the end of that battle in style. And that's going to lead us to our last battle of the lower bracket, round 1, which is going to be Leverkusen, seed 27, going up against Snowball, seed 22. All right. So, 2 rocket defenders on either side of the board here. One gray tank immediately sniped on the bottom left-hand side. Another tank died on the right and the center. The red tank goes down. We got some artilleries. All the rocket defenders are still alive. Both teams are playing it quite passively, quite defensively. That Electro tank is trying to sneak through the bottom left-hand side of the map, though, trying to get some shots off onto the rocket artillery. Is he going to be able to do it? He teleports away, and he does get destroyed. And so are a bunch of the rocket defenders. Now it's just a one more shotgunner. Can he make it? He's going to get taken down by that rocket defender's bullet, and that is going to be the end of the lower bracket round 1. It's going to be Team Snowball picking up the victory, and Leverkusen dropped right out of the tournament. And without further ado, let's take a look at the next standings here and see what is in store for our next round. And guys, if you have been enjoying this Ultimate Tournament thus far, I'd highly recommend you hit that like button and even smash subscribe, because there's a lot of effort that gets put into videos like this, and with your continued support, we can go that much further. Also, go show Mr. Dogo some love for putting together and hosting this awesome tournament. His links will be in the description, so make sure you go check him out. But now there is no time to fumble. Round 2 is getting ready to rumble. Alright, and just taking a look here at the round 2 bracket that we have set up. Definitely a lot of powerhouses that have made it through from the first round, but we also definitely have some upsets. So we're going to see how those teams perform here against these top teams and some of the better performers from round 1. So let's get right into the first match of round 2, which is going to be the first seed Team Oreo going up against seed 17 Team Gingerbread on the right. Now with every new round, we're going to have a new map. And this one, we got a whole bunch of stuff going on in the center, along with a bunch of TNT. But one of the Electro tanks in the top goes down to a silver tank. Another Electro on the other side, the other team, on the left-hand side, on the bottom, gets taken down. A silver shoots down the other silver on the top side of the map. And there's 2 shotgunners on the left, and also a Cherry that got shot down on the left-hand side as well. And the rocket defender coming from the bottom, a full rounded assault. And that's going to mean the Gingerbread actually makes up an upset there, takes down Team Oreo as seed 17. So the top seed is no longer in the top bracket. Instead, they drop to lower bracket, while Gingerbread is going to be moving to round 3 in the top bracket as seed 17. Pretty strong performance from them. But without further ado, we're going to get into our second matchup of round 2, which is going to be seed 25 Team Sugar going up against seed 24 Team Chocolate Chip. Alright. And the bomber tank immediately explodes the center battlefield, which is actually going to destroy the Cherry. The Team Cherry and the bomber tank shoots his own shotgunner, so he kills 2 of his primary teammates there, and now he's all alone, and he's going to die for it. What a bad team play right there by the bomber tank, ruining his entire team's chances. That was definitely on him, and that means that it's going to be Team Sugar pushing through to round 3. Team Chocolate Chip dip into the lower bracket in the second part of the lower bracket. And now we have the 4th seed, Team Drop, going up against Thumbprint, seed 13. So Team Drop is the one that I'm cheering for, is on the left. Let's see if they can pull off some great plays like they did in the first round. A bunch of shots going down. That silver trying to sneak up through the top side of the map. It's actually avoiding all those bullets from the Electro and all, and gets a shot onto the yellow. Doesn't destroy it because it is shielded. But the silver actually managed to sneak it out alive, so some big plays coming from the silver, but can it be enough? One of the Electros from Team Drop does go down, and another tank on the top side from Team Drop. It is going to go down to a 4 versus 3. That silver is being very good, along with that purple, and the teal on the right hand side is also just playing it smart. But the Cherry does manage to take down that silver. However, it's now a 2v2. So, oh, and the cherry goes down. The cherry goes down from one of the shots from the purple. And this might be a loss here for Team Drop unless this Russet can pull something amazing. He's got some decent bullets flying across. But it is a 2v1. Both of the tanks on the right-hand side are playing very safe. They don't want to choke here because they're up against a stationary tank. And there he goes. The Russet goes down. That means Team Drop goes down to the lower bracket. That sucks. I was cheering for them. I was cheering for Team Drop, but they are going to have to drop, no pun intended. And that means that Thumbprint is going to be moving on to the third round in the top bracket, while our next matchup is going to be Seed 5 Team Kiss going up against Seed 12 Linzer. Alright, and on the right you just have 3 Electros. Just crazy stuff from Linzer. They have a wild team composition, but 2 silvers on the left and a cherry, and the cherry takes down the Electro on the bottom side of the map, and a tank dies on the top as well, and on the top left, but the cherry takes down another Electro and a purple, and it looks like he's almost, yeah, oh no, doesn't quite get the Russet. That cherry is being very strong, very aggressive, and dodging the bullet there from the teal, getting the shot onto the teal as well. This is a cherry game, and he gets, I believe that was another tank that gets the shot there on the black tank on the bottom right of the map, and now it is just a Russet who's trying to get some shots. It might actually, yeah, he gets a kill onto the teal, but can he fight against this cherry? It's going to be a tough one, but he's trying to get some ricochets. The cherry's shooting some bullets, but doesn't have direct line of sight, and it actually walks right into the Russet bullets. This might actually be an insane upset from this Russet. This would be absolutely phenomenal if the Russet can go 1v3, clean up both the teal tank that was up on the top, the cherry that was sneaking around the bottom, and now it's just this yellow tank, which doesn't seem to be knowing what it's doing, trying to avoid these bullets. Oh, and he walks right into it, and can you believe it? The Russet, can you believe it? The Russet, against all odds on Team Linzer, is going to play the MVP role and actually manage to make it to round 3 and beat Seed 5 Team Kiss. That was a big surpriser for sure. Incredible performance by that Russet, and that means that we're going to be moving into the 5th match of round 2 in the top bracket, which is going to be 2nd seed Team Shortbread going up against Team Chocolate Seed 15. Alright, let's see what kind of stuff and things show down here. Got the rocket artillery trying to play it safe in the back, and oh my goodness, a bunch of explosives in the center of the map that's going to destroy a whole bunch of tanks. The silver is going hard on the left side of the map, but one of them does go down. The bombers on either side have 1 armor plating left. The bomber on the right hand side goes down, and now it is a 3 versus 2 because that invisible tank was still there, but he gets shot down, and that's going to mean it's just a silver against the purple, or rather a silver and the purple clean up that blast bomber there that only had 1 armor plating, and that is going to be a victory for Team Chocolate. Yes, Team Chocolate beating Team Shortbread, the 2nd seed. So that's another pretty big upset. The 1st and 2nd seed are both dropping down to the lower bracket, so we'll definitely have to see how they perform there. But without further ado, we're going to get into our next matchup, which is Seed 7 Sugar-Free Chocolate Chip going up against Oatmeal Raisin. I think there's a little bit of an error there on screen, but it is Seed 10 Oatmeal Raisin on the right and Sugar-Free Chocolate Chip on the left as Seed 7. 3 red tanks on the right hand side of the map here, but 2 peaches on the left. That's going to really be shielding up all those teammates there. They got Russet there. He takes a hit, but he has that shield, so he's not going to go down. The Electro on the top is going to stun that black tank. The black tank is not moving on the right. He's pretending to be a brown tank, or rather maybe a sniper tank because he's shooting those fire bullets. But he's not moving. He's not moving. He's glitching out, and he's gonna be an easy target because he's a sitting duck there, and he's gonna go down because he was trying to act like a stationary tank. F to him. He definitely takes an L there. Press F to pay your respects to the black tank that was pretending to be a brown tank, and that means that he's gonna go down, and Oatmeal Raisin will be in the lower bracket, and Sugar-Free Chocolate Chip will be moving on to round 3. And now for our second last match of round 2, we're going to be having seed number 3, Team Crinkle, going up against black and green seed 19. Alright, so on the right hand side we have 2 shotgunners. We have that sniper tank going crazy. He's trying to get some crazy ricochets, or wow, yeah, that was actually, he's actually playing some devastating shots here. The rocket defender on the right does go down. The rocket defender on the left though is playing some big games. Okay, we got some action there at the bottom there. The purple tank goes kamikaze against that tank on the bottom, cleans him up but dies. Teal gets a shot right onto that bomber and the silver to finish it off there, and that is going to be a victory for Team Crinkle, coming in as the 3rd seed, really showing that yes, they might have had a bit of a rocky start in round 1. They barely won their first match, but they come through pretty strong in the 2nd round here, showing that they really are that seed 3, one of the best. And that means that we're going to be jumping to our last match of round 2, which is going to be Seed 6 Icebox going up against Seed 11 Butter. Wow, okay, so 2 Russets, 2 Electros on the right. You got 2 Cherries on the left and 2 Blacks. So definitely a lot of firepower on either side there. The gray tank gets hit twice by the black tank to go down because he had that shield. Alright, and so the Russets are shooting some crazy bullets. The black tank on the right has been stunned and is not moving, so it seems like the black tanks that have been stunned by the Electros seem to be bugging out, so he's not going to be moving. But the black tank on the left hand side, well, he was moving until he just got stunned by the Electro, but he seems to be picking up his speed after he got stunned there. Not too sure why the black tank on the right is pretending to be Russet along with his 2 Russet friends, but he might actually be able to make it work because all 3 of those now stationary tanks are alive. But I speak too soon because 2 of them go down by that one black tank that's absolutely swagging, but he gets stunned, and that means that he's gonna go down, and Team Icebox actually drops down to Seed 11 Team Butter there. So a bit of an upset, not too much. Seed 11 going up against Seed 6, so definitely pretty close, but Butter is going to be pushing through to round 3. Icebox drops down into the 2nd part of the lower bracket, and that's going to be the end of the top bracket, round 2. Let's take a look at what we got in the standings. Alright guys, now we're entering into the 2nd round of the lower bracket, where we're going to be starting off with our first match here, the 6th seed of Team Icebox going up against the 16th seed Team Meringue. Now Team Meringue's got 2 sniper tanks on the right, we got 2 Cherries and 2 Blacks on the left, and there's going to be a black going down on the left hand side and a silver tank also dying in the center from the right team. And the black tank in the center just takes down that teal tank, but he does go down as well, but he takes a silver tank down while he goes as well. And now it's going to be the Cherry trying to fire at that brown tank in the top right. He's going to be able to get the brown tank, but the Cherry also goes down from a sniper, and that's going to mean that there's just one lonely gray tank to try to fight this stacked team. I don't think it's going to work out too well for him. I mean, it's got a peach tank buffing up all these different tanks here. There's no way that one gray tank is going to be able to come back from this. He's going to try, but it's really not going to be much of an effort. Definitely not going to make it too far with that one, and that means that Team Meringue is actually going to push through to the 3rd round, and Team Icebox is going to be dropping out. Alright, now our 2nd match of the lower bracket round 2 is going to be Spritz Seed 8 versus Black and White Seed 19. Alright, let's see here who can get some more damage down quicker and get the advantage here going into a successful finish. It's going to be the Cherry going down right away on the bottom left hand side. That's really not a good start for them, and a bunch of shotgunners are going to be dying in the center. The sniper tank on the right hand side trying to get some shots as the rocket defender is trying to move in here, potentially trying to get the sniper tank on the left hand side, but that's going to be killed by the rocket defender's artillery, and that's just going to mean that there's going to be an Electro left. And the Electro, he's up against 3 enemy tanks. He teleports away from the explosive bullet, but the sniper tank is going to be able to pick him up so that Electro does go down along with the rest of his team. And that means that it's going to be a victory for Team Black and White. And that means we're going to be going up into the next match, which is going to be Seed 10 Oatmeal Raisin versus Seed 20 Molasses. And again, I believe we have a little bit of an error there on screen, but we're just going to be rolling with what I have here on the tournament sheet. So we have a bunch of red tanks on the left here. One of them, actually 2 of them, goes down quite quickly. One of them is entering the center of the field, but it's just going to get sniped down. There's a lot of firebolts rocking around. The bottom right-hand side of the map just gets bombed entirely, and 3 tanks go down. And a bomber tank on the top left also gets destroyed, and it's going to be a shotgunner trying to move in on the enemy shotgunner. But that enemy shotgunner has a bomber there to back him up, because now it's just a 1 versus 1, and that big explosive bullet is going to tag the last shotgunner, and the bomber is going to be able to play the final shot and get the kill. And that's going to mean that I believe it is Team Molasses moving on to the next round, while we're going to have Oatmeal Raisin dropping out, if everything here on the chart is correct how I have it. So that means that we're going to be going to the next match, where we have Seed 2 Shortbread going up against Seed 23 of Wafer. Alright, so we got 3 invisible tanks, 2 on the left, 1 on the right. We got a Silver shooting his bullets all over the place, and tons of chaos in the top right hand of the map and in the center. The Silver tank moving around the center, and oh, there's a teal and a Silver enemy sides here right next to each other. Who's going to be able to win this battle? Oh, and it's an Electro tank that teleports from behind and gets the kill on the teal tank. What a save onto that Silver tank there that was about to die from that teal. What a play there by the Electro, saving his teammate and pushing his team henceforth into the next round. That's going to be Team Shortbread actually making it to the next round. And our next battle that we're going to be witnessing here is Seed 5 Team Kiss going up against Seed 15 of Chocolate. So Team Kiss was on a kind of a tear until they dropped their last game, but they were performing pretty good. So we'll see if they can heat up another good victory, or if they're going to fall flat on their face here. We got a bunch of explosions going on here with the bomber tank trying to clear some path through. I think getting some team kills in the process. But now we have the L tank dangerously or bravely moving into the center of the map here, still alive. He's pulling off some mines and stuff and things here. He's going to be somehow surviving around here, even with that russet shooting at him. Oh, but the Yellow tank does get stunned by the Electro, but the Electro does go down, and oh, one of the Silvers in the top left also gets destroyed. The Yellow does go down. Now it's just going to be a Red tank and a Silver tank up against the Russet. But the Russet is not going to move, obviously, and these 2 tanks in the top left are not really doing a whole lot to try to be aggressive onto this Russet. The Russet must be very scary to them, and so that means that the Silver tank and the Red tank are just going to be kind of cowardly moving around, and it's going to be the Russet actually hitting it. Oh wait, no, never mind. That's going to be actually, wow, it's going to be the Silver bullet there that actually managed to make it all the way through. I didn't even see that one channeling through, but that is gonna be the kill there, which means that Team Kiss is gonna be moving forth henceforth, beating Team Chocolate right out of the tournament. And now we're gonna have our next match, where the 4th seed of Team Drop is gonna be fighting the 26th seed of Team Macaroon. All right. So we got 2 rocket defenders on the left-hand side here. They're both playing it relatively defensively, trying to get some artillery going on here in the battle. And on the bottom right-hand side, we have an Electro tank that is going to be dying by, I believe that was artillery. The Cherry's going hard in the center of the map, really trying to get some shots off. But he walks right into another bullet there. He's going a little bit too crazy, and that's going to be a black tank cleaning up another tank on the bottom left as well. And the brown tank top left and the purple tank are both going to be going down, and that means that the blue team, the team on the right, Team Drop, beating Team Macaroon right out of the tournament. They are gone, and that means that we're going to be brought to our next match of the 24th seed Chocolate Chip going up against the 50th seed, or rather the 30th seed. There's no 50 teams in this. There's 30th team, Pinwheel. And let's see here. I think again we have a little bit of a switch up here. Lefts and right are a bit different on the spreadsheet, but let's see if we can track this all. We got 2 yellows and 2 shotgunners on the left hand side, and 2 purples as well. You got a bunch of pairs of 2. One of the shotgunners nearly go down by a bullet from the Cherry, but just managed to block it in time. But that explosive bullet's going to take out both of the shotgunners from that bomber on the right hand side, just cruising around. And the Cherry is still alive, wreaking havoc on the tank on the top there, that Electro. And that is just a teal tank. That is all that's left here. And the Cherry is charging up, and the teal is not much for the Cherry. He's going to get outpowered, and that does bring Team Chocolate Chip to the 3rd round of the lower bracket, while Team Oreo is going to be fighting up against Snowball here. Team Oreo, our top seed, is going to be going up next against the 22nd seed of Snowball. So we'll see what they can do here. They got a Peach on the left-hand side, definitely shielding up a bunch of those friendly tanks there, the Silver and all, but the Cherry in the top left does go down. The rocket artilleries are doing a number on the back line of Team Oreo. And it looks like the Bomber's trying to get into the center of this action here. He's trying to get some shots down to destroy that Peach tank. It's a good strategy from him, and that might actually be a key strategy for keeping their team alive here. The Rocket Defender trying to move up a little bit, trying to get some shots. The Silver nearly gets a shot off on the Rocket Defender, but the Red tank on the right actually manages to go down. And the Silver is changing his targets. Oh, he comes back and he almost shoots himself, I believe that was. And that's going to be Team Snowball taking the win over Team Oreo. Wow. All right, well, let's see what we have next in store. Now we're heading into round 3 of the lower bracket, and it's important to note that all these matches will be a best of 3 from here on out into these later rounds. In our first match here, we have Seed 19 Black and White versus Seed 16 Meringue on the right here. So immediate shot by the Teal tank right onto the Rocket Defender, and it's going to be the Silver tank sneaking around the bottom side of the map and on top side of the map, keeping those edges locked and loaded and defended, so those sniper tanks can be safe in the back lines there, doing some real damage, especially now with that bomber tank going down and also destroying the cover. So now that means that the sniper tanks on the right hand side have full access to the battlefield. However, it's just one enemy sniper tank left on the left hand side, so that means, well, you can't really hit him unless you're sneaking up there and getting a ricochet on the top like that Silver tank does, and that's going to bring the Team Meringue a first W here. But of course, since this is a best of 3, they do need to get their next wins here. A bunch of carnage going off all over the field. A bunch of the cover is cleared on the right hand side. That's going to leave a lot of opening for the sniper tanks on the right hand side. However, they don't have a lot of cover, so they can get shot down. The bomber tank is under fire here, but is just barely dodging all those bullets from the snipers. And one of the bullets come back to actually kill the enemy sniper, and the other one dies from an explosion there. So it's going to be a big turnaround event there, and that's going to actually be Team Black and White pulling off a bit of a turnaround there to keep themselves alive in this best of 3. And now it is sudden death. Whoever wins this one is going to be able to take home the next position. They're going to move on to the lower bracket round 4, making it quite far in this tournament, even though that they are in the lower bracket. But we've got a bunch of carnage going on, a bunch of tanks dying on the bottom side of the map. It's going to be the bomber tank taking a hit, another hit from a Silver bullet there. He has got one armor plating left, and he might go down. There he goes down. And now it is literally just down to one sniper tank on the left side of the map, and the Silver tank is probably, yep, there he is, going to be able to clip that tank there, and that is going to be a win for Team Meringue. Now we have Team Shortbread, Seed 2, going up against Team Molasses, Team 20. So Shortbread on the left, and we got Molasses on the right. Got a bunch of artilleries going all over the place here. Oh, and a bomber tank gets a really big snipe there. That's a double kill into the Rocket Defender and another tank. And the bomber tank versus bomber tank action is going down here. You got to remember that the bomber tanks are immune to the explosive bullets. So as you can see there, that's not going to hurt him. But the artillery is, and that's going to get one shot there onto that bomber tank onto the left. But this is looking like it might be a victory here for Team Molasses, against all odds, against the second seed Shortbread. It's a Rocket Defender trying to get a few shots off here. Nothing's going to really connect quite yet. And the bomber tanks are not really going to be doing a whole lot of damage to each other because they're just shooting those explosive bullets that are not going to actually hurt each other. But the Rocket Defender is going to be able to get that snipe off there. And Team Molasses is going to be able to pick up a W. Now let's see what happens here in the next round. You got two invisible tanks on the left hand side. I believe there's one invisible tank on the right hand side as well you got to be watching out for. And then, ooh, Shotgunner dies on the top from the Rocket Defender, and a bunch of carnage in the bottom right hand side of the map. The bomber tank is really getting some big explosions. That was a double kill. Two silvers and a teal go down from that bomber. The bomber's doing absolute work on that. The electro tank just sneaking around with his teleportation abilities, also stunning his friendly bomber tank, and managed to pick up the final kill there. It's going to be Molasses picking up that shot as well, and finishing off there. They got the 2 wins that they needed. So this last match here, this third one, is not going to commence, and that means we roll right on to the next match where we have Seed 4 Team Drop going up against Seed 5 Team Kiss. Alright, and Team Kiss is going to be on the right, Drop on the left. Bunch of carnage going on all over the field. Got another cherry, I believe, that was dying on the right-hand side. There is a cherry active on the left-hand side, though. The brown tank goes down on the top left, as well as a purple, and I believe a black or an explosive, something like that. And now the cherry's going hard here. He's going to be able to pick up a kill onto the red tank. But he does go down, and that's going to be a finish off there. That's going to be Team Drop taking the first win here. Are they going to be able to push through and get the second win right away? Or is there going to be a bit of a best of 3 action going on here with another win on the opposing team? A bunch of tanks going down here on the center. On the right hand side, we've got the teal going down. A big black shot there from the black tank. They're getting a big shot onto the yellow tank. And then we got a bunch of carnage going off here on the top left hand side of the map. And that is going to be able to finish that one with the cherry going down. And that's going to be Team Drop actually taking both of those W's right away. And they're going to be moving on to the lower bracket round 4. Alright, and now next up we are going to be having Team Chocolate Chip C24 going up against Team Snowball 22 on the right hand side. So let's see here which team can actually manage to push their way all the way through to victory. It's going to be the team, oh wow, just a bunch of carnage on both sides here. The cherries unleashing hell from the left hand side, getting a shot there onto the bomber tank and the red tank, and probably another shot, yeah, another 2 shots onto the bomber tanks, take him down. Sneaking around with that gray tank, who does get killed right next to the cherry, but the bomber tank on the bottom side is sneaking around to try to get that electro. He's not going to quite get the AoE on him. And the bomber's going to get stunned by the electro. The electro teleports behind, trying to get some snipes off onto the shotgunner, which now realizes that the electro is behind him, but it's too late. He goes down along with that cherry, and this electro might have just put on a clinic here, popping off, absolutely going around, getting the kills and getting the win. Wow, what a play. That is amazing there from that Team Snowball electro tank. And now it's going to be the double rocket artillery is going hard on the right hand side, while the cherry trying to get some kills off on the top side of the map. He's going to be able to get pick up a kill onto the rocket defender near the center. Stays clear out of that AoE from his own team's blaster there. Big bomber tank. Bunch of shots off, but he's got to watch out. Oh, the cherry gets sniped off from that bullet or that bomb AoE, and it's going to be cleaned up there by the electro, and that means that Team Snowball is actually going to pick this one up. And again, it was only 2 matches that it was needed to get done. So that's going to be the end of the lower bracket round 3. Let's kick it off into the next section. Now we're heading into round 3, where there are 8 teams left in the top bracket that have all been undefeated. After this round, we're going to see which 4 teams are going to remain undefeated and which other 4 teams are going to drop into the lower bracket. Without further ado, let's get into our first match, which is going to be Team Sugar, seed 25, going up against Gingerbread, seed 17. So let's see here which one can pull it off. Oh, the silver shoots himself on the top left of the map, though. The bottom is going to be a hectic ram, as they're both teams are ramming into each other. A bunch of kills going down. Another silver as well. The electro teleports in. He's going to get a kill on the red and the brown. And he's actually going to make it alive there, and the teal goes down in the top left corner as well. And so that's going to mean that the electro and the silver are going to be able to gang up against this one red tank, who doesn't have much of a chance unless he can pull something crazy out, but he's stunned and he's dead. And that is going to be the first game going to Gingerbread. Let's see if they can close this one out right away, or if it's going to go to the third game. The brown tank nearly gets hit. It doesn't quite go down, though. Silver tank almost gets hit at the bottom as well, but that's going to be the red tank dying and the teal tank dying, and a lot of tanks dying as well. I believe that's another 2 silver tanks down, and now there's only 1 silver tank left. Oh, another red tank dies in the top left. I mean, there's so much carnage going on here that you can barely keep up with it, but the electro tank teleports right next to the rocket defender, gets the kill. Assassin in the back lines there, making stuff happen, and now the electro tank teleports out, but the different electro tank tries to get right into the action, goes right into a bullet, and that as a result is going to be Team Sugar picking up a win, which means that this game right now is 1-1. Whoever can get this last game will actually be the victor. So let's see what's going to go on here. We got 3 stationary tanks on the right that are just chilling, hanging out. There's a bunch of tanks dying on the top. One of the tanks dying on the bottom as well. Got some backline action. The electro trying to teleport in on the top right. A big boom in the center, and that's going to be the stationary brown tank on the left hand side going down. And they are going to clean that up. That is going to be Team Gingerbread taking the win on that one. And Sugar is going to be dropping down to lower bracket. Alright, now let's get into the next match, which is going to be Team Thumbprint at seed 15 going up against Linzer, seed 12. Alright, let's see here what we can get. We have 3 electro tanks on the right hand side for Team Linzer, so let's see if they can pull off some crazy plays. But it's going to be the black tank going down the left hand side and a bunch of tanks on the top dying, and the cherry's getting angry. He's moving in and he's going to walk right into his death, but there's a ton of death going on the bottom, and this is actually a relatively even fight. Bunch of explosions going off here, but now it is just a 2v2, and it's a purple and teal versus a purple and teal. It's an identical matchup here. It's a mirror matchup. Let's see who's going to be able to pull off the victor. Oh, the teal tank shoots the other teal tank, and the purple gets the other teal. So now it is a purple versus purple game. Who's going to be the superior purple? Both of them have performed quite well, but it is going to be the top purple that takes the W, and that's going to be Team Red or Team Thumbprint actually taking the first game, and we'll see if they can close this one out or not. Alright, Electro dying already, another Electro dying on the right hand side. They're down to only 1 Electro on Team Linzer, and that one is also dead. So now it's literally just a russet into purple. Wow, this is a bit of a sweep here. It's only a purple left, and the black tank is going to get the shot off, and that is going to mean that Thumbprint is going to move on into the 4th round, while Linzer is going to drop out. And now our next matchup is going to be Sugar-Free Chocolate Chip, seed 7, going up against Double Chocolate, seed 13. Let's see which one is going to be able to pull out a best of 3 victory here. We got 2 peach tanks on the left hand side there with Sugar-Free Chocolate Chip, so they definitely have quite a bit of shielding going on there, but they have some stationary tanks, so they have to make sure those stationary tanks stay alive. But a lot of them are dropping, and the field has dramatically been cleared because of those 2 bomber tanks on the right hand side getting those explosive shots off. They're clearing the map, and it's going to be another explosive bullet getting the kill on that gray tank and on the brown tank, and that was a sweep. That was a pretty big sweep there. And that's going to mean that Double Chocolate might actually be able to push forward here quite strongly if they can get another victory. They already take down another black tank and another tank on the top as well. Those bomber tanks are absolutely doing work on the right hand side there. The peach tanks are not able to keep up with all the healing. Another peach tank goes down. There's only one more, and that one just popped off as well. And that means that there's just a few stationary tanks. Yes, they're shielded, but can they fight everything? They might actually be able to. The teal tank is actually popping off, getting a few kills, but it's going to walk right into one of the explosive bullets from the bomber, but the bomber is going to go down as well, and that means it's 1-1. It's a tie game. There's a bit of a comeback there. Pretty clutch from Team Sugar-Free Chocolate Chip. So let's see here who can get this 3rd game here. It's very important. We've got a bunch of kills already going off in the right-hand side. The bombers are entering the battlefield, but one of the bombers actually goes down from the electro tank. But the other bomber has all of its armor plating. Well, one of it's just been shot off. Still has 2 armor platings, but he's alone. He's been shot off. The electro tank has been playing a really hard game and floating all around the battlefield and getting all those shots off when needed. And that's going to mean that the bomber tank is up against 4 enemy tanks, albeit most of them are pretty weak. Okay, he gets the kill onto the brown tank, but this electro is really going hard at him, but doesn't quite get the kill. So the bomber tank is still alive here, just barely, and he's actually going to be able to kill the electro tank. This is now a 1 versus 2, but only one of these tanks are going to shoot, and it's the gray tank, and the gray tank is not very smart. He's not very good, so this could be the bomber's game. The bomber gets a kill onto the peach tank, and he gets the kill onto the gray tank. That is going to be an absolutely huge win there for them. That's going to be Team Double Chocolate actually pulling that one out there with an incredible comeback. You love to see some crazy action like that. And we're going to continue with the chaos in our final match of round 3, which is going to be Crinkle, seed 3, going up against Butter, which is seed 11. Alright, so we got 2 Electros on the right, 1 on the left, and we got a Rocket Defender as well. Alright, let's see what's going on here. There's 2 Russets on the right hand side. One of them has been sniped off. The Electros are going crazy. Oh, the one teleported right into the enemy lines. He's gonna get shot down because he was trying to get some quick snipes, but the peach tank on the left hand side shielded up all the members so that the Electro couldn't just instantly snipe off any of the tanks back there. And that's gonna be actually a quite clean sweep by Team Crinkle. Cleaning house there. And pretty dominating performance, but let's see what they can do here in this next round. The black tank is trying to come through the bottom here. Trying to get some snipes off, but he does go down pretty quickly. He does get a kill though, but it's going to be the rocket artillery getting a kill on the tank on the right-hand side. Alright, it's going to be the Peach tank getting kind of overwhelmed by the invading forces here coming through, but the TNT is exposed. The Peach tank does go down. There's still a shotgunner and a few others that are going to be coming at these blue tanks on the right. Oh, the Russet actually takes down the Teal, and the Electro teleports back for safety. Team Butter is not out of this yet. The Electro pops off and gets a kill onto the Silver, I believe that was. And now it's a 1 versus 1. Who's going to be able to pick this one up? Alright, the Rocket Defender. He's trying to avoid all these CC bullets, but he's getting hit by one. The Electro teleports in. Oh, not for the kill though, not for the kill. Just barely misses. And now the Electro tank pulls back a little bit. Now remember, the Electro tank is on Team Butter, and the Rocket Defender is on Team Crinkle. So let's see here who can actually pick this one up. Oh, he throws it and he teleports in for the kill. What a play by the Electro. And that's going to even it up to 1-1. What a play by that Electro, because he was down at 1v2 and he managed to pull it back for his team. Very incredible plays there. You got to watch out. The Electros can do some of the most pop-off plays. Now let's see what they can do here in this round though. Not a lot of tanks dying because a lot of shields going on. Both sides have Peach tanks. Peach tank is stunned on the left-hand side. A lot of the shields are getting destroyed, but the Electro right there on the bottom left gets 2 kills, goes in hard, but then does die. And we have another Electro tank. He's trying to get some more work done, help out his brother. But another tank falls on the top right and the bottom right. The Rocket Defender, oh, he was just about to hit that Electro, but the Electro teleported away just in time. There's going to be another tank dropping in the top right as well, and that is going to be the Rocket Defender on the bottom left getting destroyed. And unbelievably, Team Butter, with the clutch plays with their Electro tanks, are actually able to coordinate a victory there. That was absolutely wild, and that is going to be the end of round 4. So let's move forth henceforth and see what the next matchups have in store for us. Now it's time for the lower bracket round 4. We got 8 teams. We're going to be bringing them down to 4. The other 4 are going to be dropped out of the Olympics tournament. So let's see which 4 do and which 4 don't. So without further ado, let's get into our first round here, our first game rather, where it's going to be Seed 12, Team Linzer, going up against Team Meringue at Seed 15. We got a new spicy map layout as well. You got to watch out. There's 3 Electro tanks on the left-hand side, and the Electros can drive over the Electro pads just like that. So they're at a bit of an advantage here. We're gonna get a bunch of kills on the left-hand side of the map. The sniper tanks are going hard, getting a lot of kills, and all the Electro tanks are down, and all but the Teal, I believe, is left. And that is going to be a quick sweep there for Meringue in the first round here, which is quite surprising because Linzer's coming in here with 3 Electro tanks. So you'd think that they'd have the edge with all these Electro tiles going on here, but maybe that's not the case. A lot of tanks dying on the right-hand side this time, though. It's a bit of a different play scenario here, but there are still 3 tanks on the right-hand side, but the Electro tank teleports right in there. He wants to get right into the action, but the sniper tank is just going to say no way. But that's going to be the Russet actually getting the snipe down the sniper tank on the right-hand side, and that means that Linzer is actually going to be able to pick up that win there, clutch up, and now it is down to this last game here in this best of 3 matchup. But it's going to be the black tank falling and a bunch of other tanks falling around the center, and the sniper tank on the bottom right and on the left. All the sniper tanks just instantly die. That was incredible. And now it is just 1 Electro tank versus 2 silvers. Oh my goodness, that Electro tank just narrowly dodges all those silver bullets. But it is a 1v2. Can Linzer with the Electro tank pull it off? Nope. And it is going to be Team Meringue Seed 15 pulling through to the lower bracket round 5. And that means our next matchup is going to be Team Sugar, which is Seed 25 going up against Seed 20 Molasses. Let's see which teams can be able to prevail through this best of 3. A big variety of tanks over on both sides of the field, but we got a bunch of shotgunners on the right-hand side. We got a tank death on the bottom, and some artillery's flying down. A tank dies on the top right as well, and on the right-hand side, we have that silver tank charging right into the enemy base, getting a bunch of kills. He's on a rampage, and now it is literally just a bomber tank with 1 armor plating left. He does get a double kill though on the top left side of the map, and oh my goodness, he actually gets the Teal. He might actually pull off an incredible feat here of 1v4. He might actually win this. Let's see. Oh, and he gets the explosion there. What a play. He went 1v4. Molasses has got to thank that bomber tank there. MVP. completely annihilating the rest of Team Sugar's tanks there. Pretty incredible to watch, but a rocket defender goes down on the top right of the map, and a shotgun follows as well, and a bunch of carnage on the left hand side as well. The bomber tank is again around here, and he really likes to make use of that. Wow, he really likes to make use of those electro pads to speed up his bullets, his explosive bullets. Nonetheless, the invisible tank on the top center there actually gets destroyed, and the bomber tank is coming in. The top red tank dies, and it's going to be the bomber tank that claims that win as well. Incredible stuff there from the Molasses team bomber tank, really MVP, and it's going to pull them through to the lower bracket round 5. Sugar is out of the Olympics tournament, and that means our next matchup is going to be Team Crinkle coming in at seed 3. We're going to be fighting up against Team Drop in seed 4. Let's see what all goes down in here. We got a Cherry going crazy. The Cherry's fighting a bunch of bullets over the electro pads, getting a bunch of carnage, and it's still live right now. A lot of deaths going. The artillery is going to be able to pick up a bunch of kills. I can't even keep up with all of this. We got a kill also on the top left as well, and another one on the top left. The electro goes down, the teal goes down as well on the left hand side. The rusted is trying to shoot some bullets up on the top, and the black tank is going to be stunned and it's going to go down as a result here. But the purple tank sneaks around the other side of the shotgunner and flanks him, and that is going to be Team Drop picking up the first win here. They're trying to hold on, they're trying to survive, and the Cherry tank is doing everything he can, but guess what? It's going to be one of the tons of tanks dying around the center. It's just a chaotic battle here, but the Cherry's trying to flank him and takes the rocket defender into another tank and another tank as well, and another tank, it looks like. Oh, but he does go down, and the electro tank doesn't actually die, so the Cherry tank doesn't get 4 tanks, it only gets 3, but that's still an incredible performance by that Cherry tank. But can they pull it out on Team Left, on the Team Crinkle rather? Can they pop off in time? It looks like it's going to be a 1v3. It's not looking too good. Black tank though gets sniped off by the electro tank. I'm telling you, the electro tanks are just, they can do some crazy stuff sometimes, and the electro tank is stun locking that russet. The russet can't move. He just needs to shoot a regular bullet, but he doesn't, and he teleports away. So that's a bit of an odd move there for the electro tank. And while the other electro tanks are just exchanging blows, they're both teleporting into the same arena. One of them is stunned for a minute. He comes back, and he gets shot. Dude, this electro tank might actually 1v3. But the russet he's getting some shots, and he actually gets the kill. So that's actually going to be Team Drop cleaning that one up and winning the best of 3 without even needing that third game. They get the 2 wins just like that. They're going to be moving on to the 5th round in the lower bracket, and our next matchup is going to be Team Sugar-Free Chocolate Chip, seed 7, going up against Team Snowball, seed 22. All right, let's see who can prevail here in the final match of the losers round 4 bracket. Oh, the bomber tank on the bottom right just shoots his own teal teammate, and there's a bunch of carnage going on with the artilleries going all over the left hand side of the field. Let's see, there's a bunch of shielded action going on here with the tanks getting shielded by the peach tank. So not a lot of tanks are dropping right at the moment, but that's going to be one of the tanks dropping in the center though. And then that's going to be the teal tank being exploded by the bomber tank, and I believe that red tank also gets exploded by the bomber tank. Either that or it was the electro tank that came from behind, but the electro tank teleports right underneath the bomber tank. The bomber tank says no way, shoots him down, but now it's a bomber tank versus the black tank, and the black tank gets blown up by the AoE, but the russets are actually going to be able to get one shot off on the bomber tank, but nearly gets a second. Not quite though. Can the bomber play this one tactically? Now they're very slow, but he's up against a russet and a brown, so he has to play this carefully. He has the move. Oh, but the russet is just going to be able to get the shot off there, and that is going to be a win for Sugar-Free Chocolate Chip. Let's see if they can pull this one out. That was a pretty incredible comeback there for the bomber tank, or rather almost a comeback, but a whole bunch of carnage coming down in this one, and the yellow tank gets blown up by his own mine. And the russet's still alive, just shooting through the gap there to try to get all those electro bullets, and he's actually going to get a hit off on the bomber, but the bomber is going to also take down the enemy peach tank. But the electro gets a hit on the bomber tank, and he gets another one. He takes him down, the electro, and he gets the final kill there, and that is going to be Team Sugar-Free Chocolate Chip. Yes, moving on to the round 5 of the lower bracket, and that's Snowball completely out of the Olympics tournament. That has been the end of the lower bracket round 4. Let's go and see what's next. Now we're going to be approaching the lower bracket round 5. Now we have 2 matches. We have one match with some more mid-seeded teams, and then we have one match where both the teams are higher-seeded teams. So let's see which of those teams are going to be able to make it into round 6 of the lower bracket. They're getting quite close to actually returning into the main bracket for the finals. So without further ado, let's get into our first match, which is going to be Team Meringue seed 16 going up against Team Molasses seed 20. And we have another new layout, of course, and it's a very defensive one. So we're going to see if the bomber tanks want to explode these court blocks in the center and make a bit of an open battlefield, or if they're going to be a little bit more defensive. So we see some artilleries. Now, artilleries are going to be very powerful. As you can see there, the artillery's already got a shot off on the sniper tank and the brown tank, but they were shielded, so they didn't go down. But now we're starting to see some TNT exploding, and the red tank on the top and one of the tanks there on the bottom left do go down. The team on the right is very slowly making their way forward. They're getting some shots. The sniper tanks takes out another shotgunner, and oh my goodness, a whole bunch of explosions going off here. Nearly getting that bomber tank, but not quite. The bomber tank is coming in here. Can he get a bunch of explosive shots off? And the bomber tank's teammate is going to be destroyed as well. So it's a 1 versus 4, and he's up against a lot of firepower. He's kind of holding his own. He does take a hit. He only has 1 armor plating left, and he's up against the sniper tank. He blocked one of the bullets, but it's just not going to be enough. And that means Team Meringue is going to be able to take the first W here. With 3 shotgunners on Team Molasses' team on the right, you really hope to get into an open battlefield and just have all those masses of bullets really do some damage. But those shotgunners, they can't do a whole lot of work from where they're at right now, and they're just getting sniped down, 2 of them down, and we're getting some more carnage going on in the center or the top of the map here. And that's going to be the rocket defender getting a point-blank range shot right on the red tank, taking him out. Another tank falls there on the bottom. That is the bomber tank, and it's going to be the silver going crazy in the center, getting boosted around by some mines and some explosions, and now trying to get this rocket defender, but he stuns himself. He goes over the pad, and that means the rocket defender is going to be able to take him out, and he lights the TNT, which is probably going to explode. Yes, it does explode that sniper tank there, so very smart play by him. The rocket defender is actually popping off right now. He just needs to take down this silver. He nearly gets hit by a silver bullet, but oh my goodness, he doesn't see the ricochet, and that means the silver is going to be able to take that one out. And now it is literally just a silver versus a shotgunner. What's going to happen here? Is Meringue going to be able to pull off the 2-0, the sweep? And he is, with an incredible angle. That is impressive. That was a very good snipe with the speed over the electropad and all, but that is going to mean that Team Meringue makes it to the lower bracket, round 6, and Molasses is going to get dumped out at such a monumental part. Round 5, I mean, that's already such a far away, but they are going to be dropping, and now we're going to see our next matchup, which is going to be Team 4, or rather Seed 4, Team Drop, going up against Seed 7, Sugar-Free Chocolate Chip. Alright, and remember, I am cheering for Team Drop, so I'm hoping that they can pull off something crazy here. But of course, I'm just going to be commentating and seeing what goes on. And see, oh, that's the peach tank. Oh, he got it. He went right out in the open, and he gets shot down. That is bad for his team, because those shields are going to start wearing off, and there's not going to be any more refills of that shield. And the black tank capitalizes on that, gets a kill, but the electric tank teleporting right next to the black tank in the center and driving over the electro pads, showing off what he can do, getting a bunch of kills. He's now teleported in. He's actually popping off super hard right now, and he hasn't even died. His shield did get ticked down by 1, but now he teleports away out of the danger zone. He's going to get a kill on that tank there, that purple tank, but the other purple tank is going to be able to take him down. The cherry is on the top left, and he's going to be able to wreak some havoc. Now he's actually out in the open. He's getting some shots that are going to be going over the electro pads, and another tank dies on the bottom right hand side, and that is going to be Team Sugar-Free Chocolate Chip up against the ropes. Now they just have 1 russet left, and Team Drop has a russet, a cherry, and a purple that just stunned itself. And one of those shots might go through, but the russet managed to block the one that was actually headed towards its way. But that's going to be some smart sniping from the purple tank off the wall on the top to get the kill onto the russet with the electropad speed boost active. And that means that Drop is going to take this first win. And now we're going to see if they can pull it all the way through to the end, or if this is going to go to a third game. The peach tank again. Oh wait, no, sorry, that was the shotgunner that gets down from the cherry. But wow, the team right on, like, see, Sugar-Free Chocolate Chip's black tank was really going hard there until it ran into the electropads, got a few kills, but it's going to go down now. And you have to remember the Team Drop still has that peach tank, keeping a bunch of those tanks in the back. They're safe, but a lot of the other teammates are not doing super hot. But the electro tank on Team Drop is absolutely going crazy. until it doesn't and gets sniped out. But now it's the cherry going out there fighting. Oh, he's gonna get killed by the teal, and now this one's not looking too good for Team Drop. Oh, and another tank goes down. It is just down to a russet and a peach. This peach isn't gonna do much, but neither is this electro. He's not shooting a regular bullet to kill him. Instead, he just stuns him and walks away. I think that's a bit of BM, a little bit of bad mannering there, just showing off a little bit that the peach tank doesn't have a weapon, and then he goes in for the kill. What a savage, what a savage. And now it is just a russet. He's unshielded. He really doesn't have a lot of hope. It's a 1 versus 5. This is probably going to be a 1-1 game, but it's not over till it's over. Let's see what the russet can do. He's trying to fire some shots, but he's just overwhelmed, and it's going to be a 1-1 tie game now going into the third round, the third game here in this battle, in this intense matchup. Got a black tank each side, trying to see if they can float around. They're all playing very defensive. They know that this is, if they lose, they're out. So they have to play very cautiously. The purple tank getting some good snipes there from the top, shooting down to the bottom. Purple tank, what is he going to do? He's the only one out in the center. Oh, but the electro tank teleports out. Okay, let's see what's going on here. We have an electro tank coming in from the bottom right as well. Let's see what he can do. He's stunning the peach tank, but he's not actually shooting his regular bullets. And then he teleports away right when he's going to get killed by the purple tank. And then we're going to see some carnage on the right-hand side. The whole barricade on the right-hand side has been exploded. So that russet and that brown tank on the right have been exposed. And the black tank has stunned itself and died in the center by that cherry firing hell from the top. And it manages to actually get out of that sticky situation alive. This might actually be a big win for Team Drop. It's just that electro. The electro is the big game changer, and the electro goes down and is now just a brown tank. And surely this is a win for Team Drop. What a play there to make sure that they stay into this epic tournament. Even though that they are in the lower bracket, they have made it a very far away and are now approaching round 6 in the lower bracket. That is only 1, or actually 2 away from bumping themselves into the top bracket in the finals to win it all. Alright, now we're returning to the top bracket in round 4. There's going to be 2 matches, and I just thought it was quite interesting to see how no teams that are in the top 10 in seeding are actually here. They've all been either knocked out or in the lower brackets. We have a bunch of mid-tier seeding teams that have actually made it this far and outperformed all the other teams, which I thought was, yeah, pretty fascinating. So without further ado, let's get into our first match, which is going to be Team Gingerbread, seed 17, going up against Team Thumbprint, seed 15. Alright, so let's see here. We have a very quadranated map, 4 quadrants of the map. There's already a tank that died in the bottom right, and now the left is being raided, the top left is being raided by that silver tank and that teal. Get wiped out, and instead there's going to be that rocket defender that takes the place in the top left quadrant, but it does go down, but takes the teal down before actually falling. And now it is just going to be a cherry tank and a silver tank going up, and I believe an invisible tank as well, going up against just a russet and a brown tank. And the russet already goes down. The silver is going to stun himself a little bit in the electropad, and so is the cherry, but at the end of the day, it's just a brown that they're up against, and they're going to be able to take down that kill quite easily. And so that means Thumbprint is going to lead this best of 3. So let's see if they can pull out another win or not. So we got 2 purple tanks heading up on the top. One is heading over to the left and dies, and one is heading down to the bottom right quadrant with its cherry friend. On the left, a bunch of the tanks there are hovering around, and wow, Team Thumbprint just absolutely got wiped. There's only 2 tanks left that, or maybe that invisible tank is still there, I'm not too sure. But either way, this is definitely Gingerbread's game to win. They have the advantage here, and oh, the electro tank and the silver tank are sneaking around on the top hand side. They're trying to get the advantage, but the purple tank and the cherry are actually maneuvering majestically. But they both, I just say that, and then they both stun themselves in the electro pad, which is not very intelligent of them. But they were making it out of an incredible bandit swarm alive. And now the cherry takes down another tank on the top. This might actually be a fair game here. This is 2 versus 2, but they both stun each other. Everyone's stunned except the electro tank. And now it's just a cherry against the silver and the electro tank. And remember, those piercing bullets from the silver can make it all the way through. And that means that it's going to be a tie game, 1-all. Alright, The black tank gets a kill on the quick kill on the silver tank at the bottom and roams in and gets another kill on the russet and another kill on the rocket defender. The black tank is actually going mad on the bottom side of the map, trying to make sure that thumbprint stays in it to win it. And now the black tank is approaching again. That brown tank is dead, and the brown tank does not, or rather the black tank does not stun itself on the electro tiles and get another kill on a stationary tank, moving up in the corner. And then just has one of those bullets ricochet back on and kill itself. That's quite unfortunate. It had such a performance. It killed, I think, 4 tanks, but either way, he's going to guide his team to victory. And that is going to mean the Team Thumbprint absolutely flies on into the semifinals, aka round 5 of the top bracket. But they are in it to absolutely win it here. This is going to be huge for them. And now we're going to be moving on to the next match in round 4, which is going to be Team Double Chocolate Seed 15 going up against Team Butter Seed 11. We got 2 russets in the top right, and oh, we got some bombers. Now the bombers are going to be big in this one because all these quadrants are susceptible to a lot of big explosions. As you can see on the top right, the bombers just pelting the top right corner there. 2 tanks go down in that corner. One of them was a russet, and the red tank is kind of in the middle grounds. And now we have an electro on the bottom. Oh, and then another gray tank gets absolutely blown up by the bomber tanks. The bomber tanks are popping off a little bit. The electro tank just teleports away from an explosion bullet over on the bottom right, but teleports right into one on the top left. And the bomber tanks are ruling this one. And now the cherry tank moving in for the kill. Get that one on the russet that was shielded and finishes the kill there on the shotgunner on the bottom right hand side there. And now we're going to be moving into this second round here, or the second game. Now we have Double Chocolate. They have everything they need to win. They have the first game. They have the 2 bomber tanks. Can they close this one out? The electro tank is going to get taken down by the purple tank on the bottom hand side. And the purple might snipe that gray, or maybe no. Maybe it's just going to drive by. All right. But the ricochet of the purple's bullets bounces off the bottom with the electro pad and gets one of the gray shield down. But it's going to be the bomber tank that actually finishes off that gray tank, and now it's just 2 russets. One gets blown up by the bomber tank, and the other one is short to follow, and that is going to be a clean sweep there for Double Chocolate, cleaning up both of those round. And now they're going to be popping into the semifinals, so that's going to be very big for them. Very big performance. We are getting near the end here. Now we're in the lower bracket, round 6. We have 2 matches. We're going to be starting it off with Team Butter Seed 11 going up against Team Meringue Seed 16. Alright, so Meringue is on the left and Team Butter is on the right. Let's see what they can do. We got 2 russets. Oh, the one russet gets taken down immediately. 2 shots from that sniper tank. I'll take the shielded russet down, and down goes the peach tank on the top right as well. So no more shields for the right hand side. And it's going to be the peach tank going down on the bottom left as well. Okay, and the electro's trying to get crazy with it. The russet just barely blocks a bullet on the right hand side twice, 3 times in a row from that sniper tank. Survival russet. Unbelievable, but the electro tank teleports back, and then he teleports in for the kill, and the sniper tank was killed earlier. The silver gets the kill on the electro tank. A ton of chaos going down there, but in the end, it is going to be Team Meringue picking up the victory. And now they need one more to clean it off, but Team Butter is coming in fierce, but one of the electro tanks dies, another tank on the bottom dies, a whole bunch of tanks are dying, and oh my goodness, wow, what a cleanup by Team Meringue. They just got one kill after the next, and that's going to absolutely power stomp their way right into the lower bracket, round 7, and that means that our next battle is going to be Gingerbread Seed 17 going up against Team Drop Seed 4. Alright, so Team Drop on the right, Team Gingerbread on the left. Let's see what's going to go down here. We got a bunch of stationary tanks. Oh, 2 kills on the bottom right away, but the purple tank is also going to go down from Team Drop. And I remember Team Drop is the team that I'm cheering for, so I'm kind of hoping that they win, but let's see here. We got a purple tank. He takes out the silver, but then gets stunned and goes down. So some good counterplay from that electro tank, but the electro tank does go down on the left-hand side, and then there was just only that electro on the right team, on the Team Drop, that was able to clean up the rest of those kills there and take down the first game here. The cherry going in hard, but the rocket defender is also trying to get some big stuff and things off, but he does go down from the cherry. The cherry is just unleashing hell right now. Tons of bullets. He gets hit, but that shield is going to keep him alive, and he continues to blast his way through. and he gets the Cherry gets the shot off on the Russet and that brown tank, and this is looking really good for Team Drop here. There's just one red tank that is now stunned, is free fire, and the electro tank goes right up in his face. He gets the shot right in point blank range, and that is going to be Team Drop going into lower bracket round 7 against Meringue. Things are really starting to heat up, really start to get spicy. Now we're in the lower bracket round 7, where we're going to have Team Meringue seed 16 going up against Team Drop seed 4. Now this right here, starting from now, is going to be best of 5, which means you need 3 wins to actually pass to the next round here. But oh my goodness, it's going to be the Cherry getting 2 tanks on the top left and then going down. He definitely does his part before dying. And there's going to be a bunch of carnage. The TNT is going to be blowing up on the right-hand side, though. The Rust is on the top right, just doing some shots, trying to get some action going down. But the purple is on the top left, raiding and gets the purple tank, or the peach tank rather, and the teal tank down. And the sniper tank is eventually going to kill that purple, but the sniper tank drops, and that means that Team Drop is going to be able to pick up their first win here out of 5 potential games. The Cherry again is trying to get some shots off to the top left. Doesn't get any kills like it did last round, but ooh, bunch of tanks dying there as well. But tons of TNT going off and everything. And the black tank comes in raiding and gets the last 2 kills there on that silver tank ending. And that is going to be Team Drop picking up the 2nd out of 3 necessary wins to succeed in this matchup. And the Cherry gets a shot off on that sniper tank, but it was shielded. But another shot off from that black tank is going to be able to finish it off. And the black tank is going to be able to finish off that brown tank at the top left corner. And the TNT blows up on either side of the map. And the sniper tank just barely dodges a bullet. The silver goes down from one of those bullets. And now the electro tank teleporting right in. This is going to be a Team Drop victory as they take down the last sniper tank right there. And that is going to be a sweet 3-0 for Team Drop, knocking out Team Meringue. Team Meringue absolutely pulled off an amazing performance, being a mid-seeded team, getting this far right into the lower bracket round 7. But at the end of the day, Team Drop seed 4, very strong performance, and it's the team I'm cheering for. So of course they have my moral support, and they're going absolutely all the way. And now they're going to be, Team Drop is going to be entering now the lower bracket round 8, which the winner of that will actually go and fight in the finals. So let's see what's going to go up in the top bracket and who Team Drop is going to actually face off against, because that is still yet to be decided. Alright guys, welcome to the semifinals. This is the top bracket. It's going to be seed 13 Team Thumbprint going up against seed 18 Double Chocolate. Now remember, this is indeed a best of 5. Both teams need 3 games to win, and immediately we get some death on the top and bottom of the map. The center explodes while we got a silver tank on the right hand side dying, a bunch of tanks dying, including a black tank on the bottom. The Cherry's on the top stunning himself, another tank in the center dies, and a purple on the top left. And on the bottom right, it's just going to be a purple left, and that means that the Cherry on the left hand side is going to be able to take the win for Team Double Chocolate. They jump out to an early lead here, but this is far from over as we're going into the next round right away. It looks like the bomber tank exploded 2 of his teammates on the bottom left hand side of the map, and the Cherry is going to be dying on the top. Meanwhile, we get another death on the top right, and the TNT explodes in the center, and that means that the black tank is charging right through with the purple tank on the right hand side, and going to be able to get a lot of damage down until both of them actually die. It's going to be the bomber tank that manages to just barely clean up the last 2 tanks on the bottom right and take the win. And now it is 2-0 for Double Chocolate here. Can Thumbprint get a defense? It's immediately going to be another death on the right hand side, and on the bottom left, 2 deaths, a bunch of deaths going all over the place right now. The silver tank is sneaking up on the top hand side of the map, takes a little bit of cover. A big bomb blast is going to boost them to the top right of the map, but they're still going to be safe and sound. And the black tank on the bottom is really charging through. It's going to get a kill on the purple tank down there, and a bunch of tanks dying up on the top. And again, it's going to be that bomber tank, but now it is a 3 versus 1, so that bomber tank is not going to last, and it's going to be Team Thumbprint getting a win on the board. They need 2 more in a row if they're going to be able to take the win of this matchup. But let's see what happens here in the 4th game. We've got the Cherry on the top going ham right away. The bomber takes a hit on the top left. The bottom left bomber, though, is still fully intact. Wow, the tanks on the right hand side have just been melted. There's only a black tank left, and it's going to be the end, which means that it's going to be the victory for Team Double Chocolate, and Thumbprint is going to drop down to the lower bracket and fight Team Drop Seed 4 to be able to have the chance to re-enter the top bracket here for the finals. So Thumbprint is not out of it yet, but Double Chocolate advances now to the finals. They lock in their position, and they are sitting really good here. They have yet to drop a single game. All right, now let's go to the lower bracket and see which of the team here, Team Thumbprint or Team Drop, is going to be the victor. Now we are in the lower bracket, round 8, aka the semi-finals. We only have 3 teams left in the tournament. We have, of course, Team Double Chocolate sitting ready in the finals, and they are going to be fighting whoever wins this next matchup here, which is going to be Team Thumbprint, Seed 13, going up against Team Drop, Seed 4. Let's see which of these teams can win this best of 5. They need 3 wins to do it. And so we got Team Drop on the right hand side, Team Thumbprint on the left, and there's going to be a lot of carnage from that Cherry on the right hand side, spitting a lot of bullets around, and it's going to be the black tank as well on the right hand side, getting some good damage down. A few tanks dropping on the right, but mainly on the left so far. But we got a lot of tanks stunned by the Electro tank on the bottom right there, stunning his own teammates. But the Electro teleports into the left-hand side for the flank and is going to be able to get a shot onto the teal, and now stunning the Cherry. And the black has stunned himself by going into the Electro pad. But the Electro teleports back to the right-hand side. It's going to be the purple shooting his teammate. That's not going to do anything because there's no friendly fire. But the Russet on the top right is going to be going down. It's just a Cherry left on the left-hand side. It's going to be able to take down that Electro tank, but now it's just a 1 versus 1 purple tank versus Cherry. This is going down to the wire, and oh, purple does some good dodges right there to stay safe. Oh, but it's gonna get clipped, and that means that Team Thumbprint is going to be able to take the first win. But this is far from over. Like I said, guys, this is a best of 5, so we're going to get right into the second round here. The Cherry again on the right-hand side, really spitting some heat, and on the left-hand side, but it's going to be taken down, and the T on the left-hand side, and on the top left, and wow, that is a fast victory for Drop, striking back with some force, saying, hey, we're not going to be dropping some games. We're going to be absolutely coming back here stronger than ever, ready to absolutely slaughter the opponents, and they're doing that in the second game. But now here we are in the third game. We got a bunch of tanks going up on the top-hand side and the center, going to be falling, but the Cherry is out here in the center, getting a kill on the right, the purple on the right-hand side. And now it is a 2 versus 2. We got 2 stun tanks on Team Drop on the right-hand side up against the Silver and the Russet. Let's see what they can do. The Cherry is pelting that Russet. Is going to be able to take it down. The Electro on the right-hand side nearly gets killed by a Silver bullet, but doesn't quite do that. And the Cherry's firing some more bullets. The Electro is teleporting in. They're having some team coordination going on, and they're going to be able to capture that last kill there. And now it's going to be 2-1 for Drop. They only need one more win here to go to the finals. Let's see if they can do it, or if they're going to be stopped and having to go to game 5. It's going to be the black tank immediately dying at the center of the map here. It's going to be another tank dying on the top. Bunch of tanks around the center going down. The yellow tank on the right hand side as well. The Cherry is spitting some stuff and things. The teal is going to be going down near the center, and the Russet's going to be shooting some shots there. You got the Electro tank from the right hand side teleporting to the left, but he does get taken out by the Silver. But it's going to be Team Drop that finishes it off and gets the final kills, and that means that Team Drop is going straight into the finals. And guys, I am excited because Team Drop is a team that I was cheering for from the beginning, and to make it into the finals is absolutely supreme. But Thumbprint is still an absolutely big champion because they managed to pick up a podium finish. That's right, they are 3rd place, and so even though that they didn't get to the finals, they do secure the bronze medal, which is definitely an achievement in itself. But we're now going to be heading over to the ultimate finals in the We Tanks Showdown Ultimate Olympics Tournament. And now the moment that we have all been waiting for, the We Tanks Ultimate Tournament Showdown finale, the final round here. It's going to be a best of 7, meaning that you're going to need to have 4 victories in order to actually win the entire tournament here in this last round. And it's going to be Team Double Chocolate Seed 18 going up against Team Drop Seed 4. Guys, we just have to sit and watch this whole ultimate showdown break down. Let's see what goes on here. Of course, it's going to be Team Drop on the right, and it's going to be Double Chocolate on the left, but there's again a bunch of carnage going all over the scene, including the center of the map and on the right-hand side. We got the Silver trying to sneak some bullets. The Electro's teleporting a little bit on the right-hand side. He's trying to play a little bit more defensive. He only has a black tank on his team. The rest of Team Drop is down. They got 2 bombers left. Only 1 armor plating taken down on the bottom bomber, but now it's going to be 1 taken down on the bottom, or rather the top bomber as well. The Electro's trying to kite around here. The black tank as well, trying to get some sneaky shots, avoiding the explosive bullets, which a lot of them are actually just dying onto the center lighthouse there. And so that's going to mean one of the bomber tanks actually gets taken down, but so does one of the black tanks on Team Drop on the right-hand side. But it's going to be the Electro tank getting one of the kills on the stationary tank, and now it's a 1 versus 1. It's the Electro tank versus the bomber tank, and he's going to be able to stun the bomber tank, and he just barely avoids that explosive bullet, and then the Electro teleports away to safety. And this is indeed just a 1v1 here in the finals. This could not be more colossal. Now, the bomber tank does have 1 extra armor plating before it goes down, so it's going to take 2 shots, but the Electro tank is teleporting in. He has to be watching out for that bullet. He definitely avoids that bullet there, the explosive bullet, but is he going to be avoiding that one? He does, and he gets all the kills he needs, all the shots he needs onto that bomber tank to take the win for Team Drop. Now it is 1-0 for Team Drop here, and we're moving straight into the second round. It's going to be the black tank on the right hand side, immediately getting some shots off there. It's going to be another tank dying on the bottom left and on the top center. There's a bunch of TNT explosion all going over the place, and it's going to be the bomber tanks trying to get some sneaky snobs, but they are going to be able to take down that 1 bomber there in the center, but the bomber's going to be able to explode the Electro tank on the top left hand side of the map, and is going to be able to finish that one off with the purple tank on the bottom right. And that means that Double Chocolate is going to be able to take the first, or rather their first win in the second match. Now it is all tied up 1-1. We've got the Cherry going on the right hand side going hard. It's going to actually, oh no, the black tank nearly dies in the center of the map. It doesn't, manages to escape out alive. But meanwhile, there's a bunch of tanks falling elsewhere though. It's going to be one of the bomber tanks dying on the left hand side. Another bomber tank, he only has 2 armor plating. He got hit down by, I believe that was the Cherry. He's moving towards the center. That's pretty dangerous, but the Cherry, he's going in there as well. He manages to take down the bomber tank, but he does go down. But there is still a Cherry on the left-hand side, and it's going to be the last purple tank on Team Drop going down, which means the Double Chocolate leads this tournament now 2-1 in this finale. They still need 2 more wins, so this is definitely not over yet, especially as the Cherry on the right-hand side picks up some kills, and on the right-hand side, we're seeing a lot of explosions, a lot of carnage, but they're still staying alive with that Peach tank, getting all the shields. The bomber tank is really moving in, but it's going to get destroyed really quickly there by the black tank and the Cherry tank. The black tank actually manages to stay alive because of that shield that he had from the Peach tank, but he eventually does go down, but he does take down another tank on the bottom left when he does go down. And it's going to be a nice snipe there from the Cherry onto the purple tank on the top left. And now it's just a bomber going up against the Russet and the Cherry tank. I would say that the Cherry is probably going to be able to get some really good shots here if he can get out in the open here. There he goes. He's going to fire, but it's all going to hit the light post. The bomber tank does not have a line of sight onto the Cherry though, but he does onto the Russet, and that's going to mean that the Russet gets exploded, but it's going to be the Cherry getting all the shots needed to actually take down that bomber tank, and that's going to mean that we are all tied up now 2-2. Both sides need 2 victories to win it all. Oh man, let's see what goes on here. The bomber tank's again going hard with everything else. The Cherry on the left hand side is going to die, but a ton of other explosions that's going to be able to catch the black tank on the right hand side with a few other tanks as well. We've got a lot of carnage ensuing here. Oh, the yellow tank dies on the right hand side along with 2 tanks on the left. It's now, oh, but the Electro tank is teleporting in, trying to get some shots there, distracting the bomber tanks, and also gets a hit on the bottom stationary tank, and it's teleporting around. One of the bomber tanks go down, and it's going to be a Team Drop victory, cleaning up that second bomber tank, and now they only need 1 more. It's 3-2 for Team Drop. Are they going to be able to close this one out or not? Let's see. Oh, the Cherry on the right-hand side immediately dies. The Cherry is on the left-hand side is really roaming in here, getting a huge amount of carnage down. It's going to be all, wow, it's going to be an obliteration, and that's going to bring us to Game 7 here. Whoever wins this one wins the entire tournament. This is literally an insane finish. It's going to be the Cherry tank immediately dying on the right-hand side. A ton of tanks dying on the right and left-hand side, though, and it's going to be, oh, it looks like it's going to be a bunch of tanks roaming around here, and we've got bunch of advertisements in here from Dogo. But unfortunately for Team Drop, it is going to be the victory for Team Double Chocolate, but Team Double Chocolate absolutely played it phenomenally. They did not drop, no pun intended, a single game throughout this entire tournament, so they definitely earned it more than any other team, I would say. But still, one heck of a run for dropping out, I believe, in the second round. Yes, in the second round, and then working their way all the way up through the lower bracket to be able to re-enter the top bracket in the Ultimate Finals and taking it to Game 7. That was an absolutely phenomenal finish there. But it's going to be Team Drop taking the silver, and it's going to be Team Double Chocolate reigning supreme with the gold medal there. It's going to be an absolute huge victory for them. And guys, a huge amount of work was put into this video. My throat is even sore. I've spent over 10 hours editing as well. So if you do appreciate this content, absolutely make sure to hit that like button and subscribe. It helps me out a huge amount. And also check out Mr. Dogo. He will have a pinned comment and also a link in the description. So be sure to check him out as well, because he is the one who hosted this entire tournament. Alright, well, that has been the Ultimate Wii Tanks Olympic Showdown. That was an absolutely massive event. It was super amazing. I had a lot of fun doing it, and once again, I really hope that you guys enjoyed it. And without further ado, I'll see you on the next one. Peace! Back to the game, your boys. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go.